the time of this recording, two of the City Heroes private servers both had major updates to them, and I'm seeing a lot of new players and veteran players find the game and return to the game. I want to talk about scrappers and get you guys used to the scrapper. I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video I'm going to go through what the scrapper's role is, what some of the powers are, how to enhance them, and a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get into it. First off, your scrappers, like your rogue from pen paper role-playing games or any other kind of computer role-playing games you play. The difference is you don't get stealth, you don't get the pickpocketing, and you don't get the lockpicking. What you do get is the high amount of melee damage and being able to attack multiple foes at once. So there are also a lot like the tanks in City Heroes. There is a difference though, and the difference is with tanks, your primary power set is defensive, your secondary is offensive attacks, and then your primary stat is hit points, so you can survive in the fight a lot more. Scrappers, on the other hand, their primary is offensive attacks, their secondary is defensive, and their primary stat is being able to do more damage per hit. Now, when we talk about power sets, we're gonna go through offensive first. The offensive powers, there's a big variety in there. You have things like fire attacks, dark miasma, katanas, broadswords, and street fighting, and a bunch of other really cool ones out there. Then on your defensive, you have things once again like fire defense, you have dark miasma defense, you have willpower, quick reflexes, ninjutsu, and other cool stuff like that. With those powers, you want to really look into and figure out how you want to play your character first. Do you predominantly want them to survive, or do you predominantly want them to do a lot of damage quickly? And determining on how you want that scrapper to work will determine what power sets you choose. Now, you can actually mix those and make a very survivable character that deals out a lot of damage. The best one to do for that is doing a dark miasma, and the reason being is that dark miasma will make it so that when you attack someone, you are adding a debuff on them that makes it harder for them to hit you. In the defensive for dark miasma, you have cool things that will let you regenerate health and steal health and do damage over time, which also reduces their health. But then you get a lot of defensive toggles that let you absorb and negate that damage that's doing, and you get a res. It's a unique res. It's a res where you have to have the enemy next to you and you're stealing their life and giving it to you. Now, there are other ways that you can make very offensive scrappers, and these really offensive scrappers are fire offense and spine offense, and the reason being is both of these have dots. Fire, of course, does damage over time because, well, it's burning the enemy. Spine does damage over time because you're poisoning them, and that's really cool. Some other really nice offensive attacks that you can do is you can do things like a bow, or you can have claws, or you can do street fighting and really interesting stuff like that. With the defensive capabilities, if you want to make your character really defensive, you want to choose things like regeneration. You're not negating the damage, you're not avoiding the damage. What you're doing is you are out healing the damage, and there's several toggles on there and automatic abilities that let you do that and regenerate your health quicker and give you heals. Then there are other ones like invulnerability, where what you're doing is you are reducing the amount of damage you're taking on. Same with shields. Shields do the same thing. And then you have ones like quick reflexes, and ninjutsu, where you're avoiding the damage. And that's really nice. Same with kinetics. Kinetics is another way of avoiding damage, but we'll say reflect instead, or redirect, which is really cool ability. Now, when slotting your powers, you want to be very careful. What you want to do with your primary powers, your main focus is you want to make sure accuracy. You have a lot of accuracy on there, and you only stack up to 3 accuracy points on there. Each spot can take up to a merge of 3, but then you can have 3 separate spots that will have the accuracy. And the reason being is you want me making sure that you're constantly landing your hits. The next one you want to focus on is you want to focus on the damage. You want to increase that damage as much as possible. Once again, 3 slots, you can only merge up to 3 times per slot. Then your third choice that you want is you want to have whatever effect you have for your offset ability. So like if instance, if you take dark miasma, you want to do a lot of debuffs to hit. If you take kinetics, you want to do a lot of knockdowns and knockbacks and stuff like that to add to the effect. I wouldn't recommend the knockbacks. I would highly recommend the knockdowns, because while that character is flying down to the ground, or enemy should I say, and getting back up, they are unable to attack. If you choose electric for your offensive abilities, you want to slot a lot of endurance manipulation in there, because that is making it so that you're lowering their endurance quickly. You're zapping their endurance away, and that's really good, because once they get to 0 endurance, they can't attack you. That's another really good offensive ability that makes you very strong defensively. So with that being said, when you're going into your defensive power pools and you're slotting those, you want to slot your defensive ones that are avoiding damage with the defense buff. If you're taking something like invulnerability where you're reducing the damage, you want to take damage reduction. If you take healing ones like regeneration, then you want to slot in a lot of regeneration. On your toggles, you want to make sure you're slotting in a lot of endurance reductions. Same with your stamina. You want to slot in a lot of endurance modifiers into your stamina, because if you don't do that, what ends up happening is you will zap through your endurance really quick, and you don't want to do that, because if you're at 0 endurance, just like what electric does to the enemy, you will not be able to attack, and you will be a useless scrapper until you get endurance back. So with that being said, comment down below what you think of the scrapper, what your favorite scrapper build is, and to help the channel out, I highly recommend that you share this video, you like it, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Reason being is, for those last 3, the more you do those, the more my videos get shared out there, and the more chance I have of getting subscribers, which I'm aiming for 500 right now. I'm really close. I'm only 114 away as the recording of this video. And once we get to that 500, we get the community tab. And that community tab makes it so that you guys can post polls. You guys can share pictures of your characters that you've created. I love seeing those pictures, and it won't just be in the comments. And in the comments right now of a video, you can't share those pictures. With the community tab, you'll be able to share those pictures. You'll be able to take polls of how should I slot this? What power sets should I choose? What would be interesting? What would be unique? And stuff like that. And we can all communicate and work together, help one another out, and just straight out have fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.